We begin this morning with the issue of drowsy driving. A surprising, perhaps even stunning study by AAA has now determined that sleep-deprived drivers can be more likely to crash than those who are drunk or under the influence. Take a look at this video from a study where drivers knew that they were being recorded, and yet several fell asleep at the wheel, their vehicles wandering off the roadway, in one case even bumping the vehicle in front of them. This is literal proof that not getting enough sleep can actually cost you and others their lives. And there you see the bump. Oh, that woke him up. Well, joining us now is Robert Sinclair from AAA Northeast, and welcome to the show.
Thank you.
How about you? Were you surprised by these results?
Not at all. It's a very common problem. The Bureau of Labor Statistics says 18% of us don't get the necessary 7 hours to 9 hours of sleep every night. So, and that corresponds with the fact that we're seeing that 20% of all fatal crashes, not just fatal crashes, of 20% of 6.3 million crashes are the result of a drowsy driver being
That's
involved.
right up there with drunk driving and everything else in terms of percentages.
Yeah.
Now, we want to take another look at this video because it really is startling. There were several examples that you showed, and we can look at them for a while here.
Yeah.
Take us through what you discovered here in terms of how many more times likely it is you're going to crash, and depending on how many hours of sleep you have and all that, right?
Right. Recommended 7 to 9 hours. If you get 6 to 7 hours, you're 1.3 times more likely to have a crash. If you have 5 to 6 hours, you're double, 1.9 times, double.
Just from losing a couple hours.
Just from a couple hours.
Now, that's a fairly common experience.
Very common. And if it's 4 to 5 hours, you're 4 times likely to have a crash. If it's less than 4 hours, you're 11 times more likely to have a crash. 1,100% more likely to have a crash. And it's akin to driving drunk. You are so out of it. You're so sleep deprived that it's the same as being over the boat.
And you really can't help it. The body will fall asleep on you, right? The people, when they describe it, they say, well, I didn't know that I'd fallen asleep.
The Ford Motor Company has the most advanced driving simulator, and they did studies with drowsy drivers. They kept them up on purpose. They put them behind the wheel, quote unquote, and they watched them for an hour or so. Afterwards, they asked them, well, how did you feel? Well, it was all right, a little tired, but I felt fine. All of them had fallen asleep, but they did not realize it. It's very, very insidious. There's a phenomenon known as microsleep, where you fall asleep for 2 or 3 or 4 seconds, sometimes as long as 10 seconds. 60 miles an hour is 88 feet per second.
Yeah.
You can run into a lot of bad things being asleep for 2 seconds.
It happened to me once. I told you about it.
Yeah.
You know, I was driving overnight and I didn't even realize it. Next thing I know, I was inches away from crashing into the guardrail. And, you know, somebody honked their horn and probably saw me slowly drifting. I was actually asleep.
I think, and it's a very common problem with news people, the hours that you guys...
Yeah, sometimes the hours.
Yeah, everybody
and I was doing an overnight trip. A lot of people will do overnight trips to beat the traffic. That's what I was doing.
It can be very, very dangerous.
So you really got to know your body.
Yeah.
And, you know, first of all, this is extraordinary video. I don't think I've ever seen anybody caught on camera falling asleep. That's new for me. How was this set up? These are not actors, right? Tell us how you put this study together.
This video is from a study that we did 2 years ago. 1,500 teen drivers with cameras in the vehicle that watch the drivers and watch the road. And it was part of a distracted driving study. And it made us revise our distracted driving numbers for teenagers. We thought 18% of crashes were a result of some sort of distraction. We revised that upward to 58%.
Yeah, so it's even tougher on teens. They have less experience.
Less experience. They're often not getting a lot of sleep. They're working shift hours. They're working overnights. They're
young people
and working,
hanging out, whatever it might be.
Yeah.
But even more remarkable to me is they knew they were being recorded for this study, right?
Right.
And yet they still fell asleep.
Well, the cameras were in the car for a full week, and the first day or two, they are model citizens.
Right.
And after that, they start falling into their bad.
You mean it only took a week to catch some of these people on camera?
Less, very often less, maybe 3 or 4 days was all that it took. And
well, did you get anything in terms of how long people were driving or beyond the sleep? Were they on long drives? Was that a factor at all?
Somewhat. We did notice that people on long trips tend to get into problems because they really don't realize that some bad things are happening. When you're on a long trip, your mind starts to wander.
All the miles start to look the same.
Yeah, you forget the last few miles that you did, and those situations are bad. That's when we really recommend that you have a passenger in the vehicle with you to monitor you.
So really, worse than drunk drivers? I know some people are going to say no way.
Absolutely, yeah. Less than 4 hours sleep, it's like being drunk. And there were some people in the study that only got 1 hour of sleep. And that's, you may as well forget it. Your number is up when you're driving under that.
Well, in just the last few days, it came out that, there's some rules that were supposed to be put in place for truck drivers.
Right.
And those got shot down, or people are trying to shoot them down. Explain what happened there, because truck drivers you got to be particularly worried about with the kind of tonnage they're carrying behind them.
Right. The weight limit for a trailer truck is 88,000 pounds.
And they want to raise that.
Yeah, they want to raise it to 150,000 pounds. Just
almost double.
Yeah, imagine that much weight being loose on the road. But hours of operation for truck drivers, they're not supposed to drive more than, I believe it's 16 hours in a 24-hour period.
That's right.
But the problem is that they self-report. They keep their own logs. And it was suggested that we use some sort of GPS tracking technology to make sure that they aren't driving when they're supposed to not be driving, when they're supposed to be asleep. The driver that was in the crash with Tracy Morgan, he'd been up for 24 hours.
And they've been resisting these changes, the trucking companies, and even many of the drivers, because they make their livelihood from it. And one driver said, look, if you're tired, you pull over and you grab a half hour or an hour or two. Does that really work?
That works. A 20-minute nap can make a world of difference. We recommend that if you're feeling tired, you pull over, you drink a cola beverage. Caffeine.
It's a little caffeine to jolt you, right?
Yeah, and the caffeine content in coffee is not consistent. So a cola beverage, drink it, then take the nap. Because it's going to take about 15 or 20 minutes for the caffeine to take hold. So you wake up, you do some calisthenics, get the blood flowing with the caffeine saturated in it, and then you should be good for another few hours.
What about people who already do that? Too many coffees.
Yeah.
I'm wondering, can you actually be, I don't think I've ever seen it, and probably not, but can you be charged with anything if you're in a crash and it's because you didn't get enough sleep?
Well, that's a good question. I imagine.
I guess it would depend if people got hurt, or killed even.
Driving
could be that.
Yeah.
If they can prove that you stayed up, or
something like that.
So you got to really think about this. So you've given us the recommendations. I'm just curious, how many people were studied in this that you came across this? How many people did you put through that video study?
We studied all the crashes that took place for 2.5 years, from 2005, mid-2005 to the end of 2007. So we're talking, there's roughly 6 million crashes a year.
Wow.
So we're talking about crashes that involved a vehicle that had to be towed away or somebody who was injured.
Well, some good reason to get some shut-eye. Robert Sinclair with AAA Northeast. Thanks for the eye-opening info. Happy holidays to you.
Thank you. Thank you.
And when